As we start the new year, we're looking back at the stories that defined 2020, and there was no bigger story than the COVID-19 pandemic.
That is for sure. From school closings and stay-at-home orders to mask mandates and untimely deaths, 2020 is a year that we're never going to forget. In tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, Travis Fossing shows us how the past 12 months have changed lives in South Dakota and the entire world.
2020 started like most years. As we were ringing in the new year, the World Health Organization was learning of a viral pneumonia in Wuhan, China. It was later identified as a novel coronavirus. On February 11th, WHO announced the disease would be named COVID-19. Exactly 1 month later, the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus a pandemic. That same day, South Dakota confirmed its first cases of COVID-19 and its first death.
One of the biggest things that we can do to keep people healthy is for people to stay home.
A few days later, schools across South Dakota locked their doors.
We will not be holding school next week in the state of South Dakota.
The boys and girls state basketball tournaments were the next dominoes to fall. Eventually, the entire spring high school sports season was canceled. In late March, South Dakota State Representative Bob Glanzer was diagnosed with COVID-19. He died April 3rd.
He was one of a kind. I can't say a whole lot other than the fact that he's touched my life and will continue to do so.
In April, the Smithfield Foods plant in Sioux Falls transformed into the top coronavirus hotspot in America.
The growth and spread of this virus, now we're seeing firsthand how dangerous it can be and how serious we need to take it.
More than 1,000 positive cases were tied to Smithfield employees and their close contacts. 2 employees died in April. The plant was closed from April 13th to May 7th. As the number of cases climbed through the summer, more than 460,000 people attended the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in August.
We need to see in America that, that we're not to be fearful. I mean, cautious but not fearful.
A study by the Centers for Disease Control says 86 Minnesota COVID-19 cases, covering nearly 1/3 of the state's counties, were associated with the Sturgis Rally. In late August, students started returning to school. After using distance learning last spring, Governor Noem spoke on the importance of learning within the walls of a classroom.
We lost track of 30% of our kids in the state. I mean, they did not check in once we called off school last spring.
The high school sports season started on time in South Dakota, but the Missouri Valley Football Conference and Summit League postponed fall sports until spring, while the NSIC suspended all sports through the end of the calendar year.
At the end of the day, it's about how do we keep our athletes, coaches, staff, our community safe, and we couldn't say at this point that we could do that.
As October neared its end,
wear a dang mask.
Masks were a hot topic in cities across the state. Sioux Falls passed a mask mandate on November 17th, but a violation carries no penalty. Sanford Health and longtime CEO Kelby Krabenhoft parted ways on November 24th. A week earlier, Krabenhoft sent a controversial email to Sanford Health employees, where he shared opinions on masking and immunity.
All I did in my letter was, again, in a hopeful way, in a positive way, as a recovering virus patient, suggest that there is a growing body of evidence and discussion about the longevity of the immunity that is garnered from this. That's all I said.
The total number of deaths among South Dakotans with COVID-19 more than doubled in the month of November. After surpassing 1,000 deaths in early December, South Dakota and the entire country received some welcome news as the FDA approved emergency use authorization on a pair of COVID-19 vaccines.
The preliminary data we saw showed very similar efficacy and safety profile between the Moderna and the Pfizer, and so we are considering them as far as which one you get to be interchangeable.
Providing hope as we start 2021. With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Travis Fossing.